Alright, I'm going to try and record this all in one take. League is probably my favorite game of all time. And I have to say, I love the changes coming to 2026 with all the new items and the new quest system. I think it's really, really fucking cool. But I really don't think that this is enough. I think Riot need to make more drastic changes to save the game. And I don't think that they're coming next year. And I hope that they're coming in 2027, but I'm not sure, and I'm a little worried about the extent of those changes. Now, I don't just want to be a negative Nancy. I'd like to also talk in this video about things I think Riot are doing well. Like, I think this year, the fact that they were so willing to change things up, remove the Otacon that was kind of bad, that they come out with updates every year that are so meaningful is great. And I think this year they were great at listening to community feedback, and I think you really feel that in the changes that are coming to the upcoming season. And I think the addition of WASD, that is great. It'll mean that a bunch of new players are able to enjoy League, since click-to-move games are kind of a dying breed. But I think these changes really aren't enough. I think the barrier to entry for League is still much too high. I mean, first because of the knowledge gap that that you have as soon as you start the game. There is so much to learn. There's so much to figure out that I think is not compatible with the way that games are enjoyed nowadays. I think the fact that there still is not a tutorial is insane to me. I mean, there is a tutorial, but it's frankly terrible. And that the client is still so buggy and horrible are such huge barriers to entry that I really hope Riot fixes, if not this year, then as soon as possible, because the longer this exists, the more you keep players from playing your game, and the sooner the game dies out. I think this is a worrying trend because, as we know, League is kind of dying in North America. It's becoming less and less popular. There's less and less Western players in general. League is a top 10 game in the world, but it's quickly being surpassed by games like Roblox, Fortnite, Minecraft, and it's going to keep getting passed, I believe, by newer games that are the new thing. What these games also have, for example, Roblox and Fortnite, is the fact that that players of these games can create their own games inside them, which keeps players, constantly playing them, which I think Riot is kind of doing with the new game modes, but they would need to basically have it be community made for it to even reach the extent that these games have, and the creativity that these new developers working inside the game are able to create. I think in general also the gaming market is becoming more and more oversaturated with Steam democratizing indie games to such a great extent that I think if you even want to get into games, there's so many options nowadays. In other than in the West, we can also see that there's less and less Korean players, which is probably the second biggest server other than China. The PC bangs are closing more and more. It's becoming less profitable to do so. I think there was an interview with Genji Arnold, the CEO of Genji Esports, who says that kids are not playing League anymore, statistically. And this does not even go into China, which is, which has the highest player base in all of League, where, the Chinese government is actively taking steps to stop minors from playing games or limiting their time, which means that the biggest servers for League of Legends, which are Korea, China, and Europe, and North America is a little bit less, but the game is slowly dying out. And I think that there was an announcement a year ago that 2026 was going to be the year of League or something, and they said that they're going to take a step back and they're going to they are reevaluating that. But I think there really needs to be some fundamental large changes, some really cosmic shifts to League of Legends to allow new players to come in so that the game doesn't become stale and die. Now, can still survive for a long time, like World of Warcraft, is still surviving. But even then, Blizzard has done, insane things with WoW Classic and all these things to get back their old players. And I think Riot need to maybe take an idea of this, or I don't know, maybe, yeah, what I said, democratize the making of these game modes like ARAM, AM, and all these things to the actual players to, well, I mean, let people enjoy League how they want, kind of, customize it to their style. And I really hope that this comes sooner than later, because I would be very sad about my favorite game of all time dying.